Gentlemen, welcome to Chapter 8, Episode 1 of my Beyonce theory. This episode is going to be a very heavy episode. It is the kickoff episode after the synopsis. Now, I hope you guys are very excited. Make sure you guys grab your popcorn or snacks and make sure you guys stay hydrated as we are about to delve into things that I have gathered information that a lot of you guys are going to be super shocked. Now, after the rolling clip that you just saw from Tina Turner, I did promise you guys that Tina Turner was going to come into season 8 and chapter 8 of my Beyonce theory in such a way that is going to shake up what we think of what Beyonce is going to do. Now, I am not going to focus too much of what's going on outside of the world right now because we know that she just released something. But let me focus you guys into the direction of what Beyonce has been doing. It's cool to research. This is why I say researching is something that is so powerful and beautiful. Now, back in the Renaissance, we know that when Beyonce kicked off the Renaissance tour, and when we actually got to see the full-fledged look of the tour, a lot of people was like, yo, this was probably the most futuristic tour, even though it didn't reach 1 billion when it came to sales. It still drove 500,000, almost 1 billion, because one, the tour itself had a shorter date. So if Beyonce would have had it like a year, if she would have did it like a year, that would have grossed so much money. It would have even slightly rivaled the Eras tour, which is by Taylor Swift. Upon me researching after all of the hiatus that you guys been seeing me take, it was due to me researching, putting the puzzle together, finding ways to not only engage you guys into what's coming, because I think you guys are going to be super shocked. I need you guys to take a look at this for me. Now, you are looking at a picture that is worth 1,000 words. You're asking yourself, okay, what is this? This is from Tina Turner. Now, based on the first opening clip monologue of the song, Acid Queen, this episode is titled The Acid Queen and is by Tina Turner. Now, what is the resemblance between the Renaissance tour and this small music video that Tina Turner released back in, I think, 1975 or 1980. This is a real trippy, I would say, like a mushroom type of performance. She is titling herself as the Acid Queen. You see all of the shots and pills and drugs. So all of these things are in a way interconnected with the Renaissance. Now, with the Renaissance tour, we literally saw Beyonce had this tube, like almost like Matrix, right? How all of the tubes were connected to her body. She was floating in this like case tub, clear bathtub that was literally showing her plugged into the motherboard. When you look at what Tina Turner did in the past, you can clearly see the influence of the Renaissance. Now, there's this interesting movie called Metropolis. It was an early old movie where this scientist managed to put a heart inside of a human body to try to resurrect this woman. It is an old film, but when you look at the stature of the Acid Queen, she is injecting herself into different realities. When you think of the introduction of the Renaissance tour, Beyonce encased herself like a robot before she can emerge out signifying I'm that girl. Now we know that in the Renaissance as well, she opened up with ballads. She find ways of not only connecting with her audience, but at the same time finding ways where these things could interlock. So we're gonna delve even further into why I think Tina Turner is probably one of the biggest influence that oppose, I would say, ideas conflicting that not only Beyonce spread out from the Renaissance, but it also carried it to Cowboy Carter and to the third act. I also mentioned that, not to mention in my last season of my Beyonce theory, which was back in chapter 7, I indicate that the way Jay-Z did his rollout, the way that Beyonce has the connection between this reality versus the Cowboy Carter reality, everything that we are experiencing is through the lens of Beyonce. If you also think of the ending of Summer Renaissance and how the closing of Summer Renaissance literally showed a big image of Beyonce's eyes, and it literally signifying the next chapter, the next frontier. And when you think about the entrance of the I'm That Girl and how it start opening up and casing as Beyonce emerged out of the case, this is a very significant of Cowboy Carter, where it looks like she's standing like in this scarecrow type of mechanical robot, but it looks like the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz. But now that I find a better understanding of what she is doing, if you look at how the Acid Queen music video is, and how Tina Turner is almost as if all of the energy of the acidic thing that is coming out. And here's even more crazy shit. There's 2 women twins that envelop Tina Turner inside of the robotic case, where literally she looks like the video from All Up in Your Mind, as well as the Mrs. Carter tour, which when you think of the entrance of the Mrs. Carter tour, where Beyonce is dressed in complete white, the entire set of the actress and actors, dancers are all in white. One of them is literally giving Beyonce the crown, and the other one is giving her the scepter, almost as if it's like, so long she may reign. When you think about that segment and take a look at the Miss Tina Turner, the Acid Queen, you can see the parallels between those. We're gonna play a little clip of everything that I've also gathered from the Acid Queen and the song behind the whole meth. The literally it's like getting high off music. And remember, Tina Turner is known for being the mother of rock and roll, and that it is pretty insane to see what she's capable of doing with such interesting music. I think what I like about this entire connection is that it's insane. It's insane what this woman could do with her mind and what she's capable of when she is not only at her best, but we got to see a Tina Turner that released. This is my first time, even myself, seeing Tina Turner create such interesting but yet polarizing methods of putting this song together. And that's another thing I want to do. I want to listen to the lyrics, because when you think of so like I mentioned, this was her second solo studio album, The Acid Queen. And it's crazy that I think when Beyonce dressed up as the that Purple Rain figure that she was wearing, this is only just one half of many. Because I think with the red and purple, Beyonce's gonna give us, with the red and blue, I mean, this is gonna give us, Purple Rain, which actually is the second episode of my Beyonce theory, which we will get into once it's released. But like I said, this was Miss Tina Turner sophomore album, and it's insane that this was released back in 1975. Not only the Acid Queen was well received, but the lyrics and everything else, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, and it gave you so many different things, from rock, opera, to this very unhinged performance. And I think that even the major connection between overall, like performance wise, and how she was giving us this robotic, futuristic, present time traveler. And that got me thinking, what if the Acid Queen returns, almost as if like an avatar? The Acid Queen returns, but instead of Tina Turner, Beyonce has now taken the place. Because at the end of the music video, right in between, the person was locked inside and Tina Turner vanished, and then they were trying to bring this other man inside of the case of the robotic. But it's interesting. It is a very interesting video, and I think what I like about this entire it's the importance of the meaning of the entire thing. And I know in the past, I think they probably asked Miss Tina Turner about what is the most important thing about the Acid Queen, and you could see the importance of this robotic looks oddly familiar to there's a part of, I'm not sure if it's America Has a Problem or All Up in Your Mind, where it shows like this Beyonce character that looks robotic, but it's in green, and it's the where the titties are, it literally like a boomerang, but it's like hypnotized. That was a lot of visuals that looks oddly familiar with the Beyonce Renaissance, which literally connects to this. Like, it's insane how Beyonce minds work. She would look at something, she would lock it in, and then go back in the present. And like I said, these two twin women, they reminds me of the Mrs. Carter tour. So let me also explain to you guys as well a little bit about the film. So it seems as if the Acid Queen basically refers to a character song that Tina Turner famously played in a film of 1975 called The Adaptation of the World Who Rock Opera Tommy, which basically was literally, she created an album out of the her sophomore album. On top of that, the Street Level Healer, which is literally a bizarre, known for the name of Acid Queen. And what I like is it gave you this aggressive ritual attempt to shock Tommy, which is the guy character, back to life. So in a way, she's saying that rock and roll and the pills and everything brings you back to life with the energy. And literally, there's a song on Renaissance that talks about I think it was All Up in Your Mind, and I forgot which other one, but it is forcing you to convince yourself to be in a certain reality, and that the whole importance of the performance. This brings me back to Renaissance and how Renaissance was that pill that we all used to escape reality when Beyonce released it, because she said Renaissance was, instead of pain, she used the world's pain as like the big freaking painkiller. Renaissance was like a painkiller. She used that to connect with us from the pandemic, and she wanted us to kind of have some sort of normalcy by using the influence of music as a pill, escape route, in order for us to come back to life and breathe again. I think this is so freaking dope, because now it puts things into perspective that Beyonce made sure that Act 1 was Renaissance, because when you think of the disco era and the ballroom era, there was a lot of drugs involved, but at the same time, from those sadistic, trippy, fantasy world that people use drugs to escape, they came out of so many different crazy ideas. When you think of like the Jimi Hendrix or different like Nirvana, and so many different rock stars, they use sometimes substance to create, but also sometimes hurts. And when you think about that gigantic, angelic, robotic angel, that little rocket becomes to me like a syringe. So in a weird way, she is literally referencing the Acid Queen and Renaissance. Like, that is insane. This woman is insane. Like, when I sat there and analyzed everything, I'm like, yo, she is really Tina Turner, like, daughter. Like, she is really Tina Turner daughter. And the fact that her mom is also named Miss Tina, she has both Tina on her side. Like, when I saw this, I lost my freaking brain. I'm like, this woman, like she said, her mind is twisted, and people think they understand her, but when you think that you could really outsmart what she's planning on doing, she gives you the 360. Like, this is insane. This is insane of the amount of things I sat there and researched. Because when I saw the connection, I'm like, I could not leave that connection alone. And that's why this episode was my first episode, because this character, this Renaissance cuffed character, is the Acid Queen. It's a robotic, futuristic alien that allows us to escape into reality to cope with the problem of our existence. And when you think of the message of Renaissance, she says she travels back in time to meet her, and almost as if she traveled back then to meet her counterparts, and that there's no boundary between present and time, because everything is happening at once. That's literally what she said. She said nothing within Renaissance is not happening also in Cowboy Carter. It's not only happening into the future album that could be Act 3. And when you think about Cowboy Carter's interlude, it was the humanity version of Renaissance. And Renaissance was more of this cold, stone, metallic like structure of emotion, and it was more of dancing, such as like feeling, whereas Cowboy Carter was more as it was more of a listening, right? Cowboy Carter was more of like, you have to listen to the message. Renaissance was, you have to feel the groove of the dance to understand the message. So in a way, the 3 acts are also testing our senses. Like, this is what it means when you take a sedative. You're not only feeling one pain, you're feeling the different of emotion. You could think that you could smell something, you could think that you taste something, and then out of all of this thing, you feel sleepy. Your brain is going previously that each things that she reconnects with each other, she's almost as if she is rebirthing herself. Maybe the echo is telling us that we need to find a way to break ourselves out of that before it's too late and perform. It's almost as like every night she performed during the Renaissance era, it was almost as if this was an abduction. She was doing this human test from each city. That's what it felt like. It was like she said, she was tapping into her NPC, where her mind is the mothership or the motherboard. This, my gosh, guys, this episode of me researching the Acid Queen and the connection, the raw connection it has to the Renaissance, I can never stop thinking about it now. And like I said, these two ladies, the way they were dressed, almost those looks like part of the Mrs. Carter tour, which I will get into probably next episode. But guys, I just want to say thank you guys so much for listening to me. This is the first episode of my Beyonce chapter 8. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Like I said, this is titled The Acid Queen, which also has a connection to Renaissance. And like I said, this took a lot of time to do. By tomorrow, you guys will see the next release of the episode 2, which is titled The Purple Rain, which was part of my synopsis episode. And like I said, thank you guys so much. It's been a pleasure always. And like I said, not 2 episodes are the same. It's a lot going on, and I can't wait to see what the end of the tunnel. Peace, love, and I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And if you like to see more things here, all you have to do is subscribe, leave a comment, and I will gladly interact. Bye-bye.